What's up, the squad? Back with another video. I'm Reckless. Y'all see here, I had another video sent from, the realist Doug in Exile. And I do appreciate, like I said, people sending videos. This is a reaction channel, so tend to see more of my reaction and what I think, my opinion, as well as, known facts and, different things on this channel for those who are new. Definitely appreciate everybody watching, these reactions. I really do. Sharing them and liking them, because at a time like this, it is important to pay attention to all of these things. But y'all already know, make sure y'all hit the like and subscribe button. If y'all out shopping and stuff and all of that, make sure y'all be safe. I was just talking to a family about this. Be safe. That's number one thing. We live in Indiana, so y'all know it's all open. You know what I'm saying? You can carry, but it's definitely be safe, and be careful when you're going out shopping and stuff like that, because it's like people don't care anymore, with a whole bunch of stuff. But without further ado, we gotta get in this video. Ain't really got nothing to do with that, but I had to get that out there because it's important. Let's get in the video.
Donald Trump remains this worldwide phenomenon, and no matter who tries to go against him, in this case, it is Letitia James and Fannie Willis, and where they thought they would end up turning him under, and instead the black vote is completely backfiring on them. We have the stunning poll that I'll get to at the end, but first I'm going to show you kind of an overview of where Trump's at and why there was a major turn this week, and it's all good news. Welcome to Doug in Exile. I'm Doug Tenaple. This is where all the happy people are, because we don't let the Democrats steal our smile, no matter how crappy they act. So here's the first headline. If Manchin runs for president, will he be a spoiler and throw the election to Trump? So this is Joe Manchin out of West Virginia, who has been toying with a run for president. And people aren't sure if he's going to take more votes away from Trump or Biden because he's a Democrat. He's one of the most hated guys on the right. So he is going to absolutely carve into Joe Biden. Manchin pushes back on warnings from Democrats, arguing in a Fox News interview that, quote, I would never be a spoiler for anybody. That's a huge self-own. You should absolutely get out of the race, if that's what you think. As he openly flirts with a third-party run for president in 2024, Senator Joe Manchin has plenty of people in his party terrified that that the moderate from West Virginia will unintentionally hand the White House over to former President Donald Trump, and I like that. There's another one. I just want you to you'll see a theme in all these headlines coming. It's Democrats are losing.
But I feel like we all knew that, though. Like, I feel like a lot more people, like I always say, a lot more people are starting to wake up and see that it's not really where you want to be, or at least for right now. I remember seeing a video of history of how the Democratic Party was founded, and the history on it. And it's crazy to say that, it's not really crazy to say, but it's just, you look at the history. If you haven't seen it, make sure y'all look up the video. But you go and you look back at all the stuff that was happening and look at now, and really nothing. I see no change when it comes, of that left. And I feel like a lot of people hasn't seen that video. I'm gonna make sure I put that video on the end screen. But I feel like it's an important video to check out. It's an important video to check out just based off of the fact of knowing your history on these different parties, and knowing your research that you got that's out there right now, because it's important. A lot of people are starting to wake up to understand what's going on around really everybody, especially the whole Biden administration. And I feel like that's one thing that's important.
Here's political. Biden's poll numbers aren't just bad, they're getting worse, as if it's possible. And by the way, it's not going to get any better, because he's not going to suddenly start getting younger. He's not going to suddenly start getting his mind back. The polls keep getting worse for Biden. Trump's vote share in national polls is higher than at any time in the past year.
There you go. I mean, and back to what he was saying about, necessarily about the age. I seen a lot of people saying something about the age, like, oh, I'm not worried about the age, and I'm not. I am. I know that we've had, obviously older presidents and stuff like that, but at the same time, when you're in a stage like that, at that age, I feel like that's something that's important. Obviously, we can have somebody at the same age, but he might not have, what's going on with Joe Biden. I feel like that is something that is definitely, and it's more so of the age thing. It's more so of what's going on through his head. It's more so of the controlling thing, allegedly. It's stuff like that. It's stuff like that worries me. It worries me a lot because it's like, who is really, doing this? Because you have somebody go on stage, you don't know what you don't know what they're doing. They're walking away when there's something important going on. They falling, can't remember what they're talking about. Going back and talking about something that happened 40 years ago. It's just stuff like that,
Another win. There's more. Now, here they're trying to throw shade at and put distance between we evangelicals and Trump. Here's 3 headlines. This is from The Guardian. Trump called Iowa evangelicals, quote, so-called Christians, and, quote, pieces of shit, a book says. Same headline, Daily Beast. Trump called evangelical leaders pieces of shit, new book claims. By the way, usually they would star out the word shit in a headline, but they showed it to make sure that you got the full impact because they're trying to hurt Trump. Newsweek, Trump called evangelicals so-called Christians, talked conspiracy in this book. This was from 2016. They're talking about, the book is talking about stories from 2016 when Trump said 2 Corinthians, remember that? But Tony Perkins ended up, instead of endorsing Trump, endorsed Ted Cruz. And Trump said these fake Christians, he was angry at them, which I'm sorry, but it is to The Guardian and all these headlines. I don't care what Trump thinks of evangelicals. He can think that they're all fake. He can think whatever. He can think I'm fake. Doesn't matter. I'm still going to vote for him to save the country and save the world. How's that? So this is not.
And the thing is that people are going to try to hurt you no matter what. People are going to try to hurt you no matter what. And I feel like this is the first time in history I ain't gonna say that. It might be though. It might be. I just got into politics, so let me shut up. But this is the first. I feel like this is going to be. It is so much stuff that is thrown on Trump, and I feel like when he end up winning, it's gonna get to that point that people are going to talk about this for a long time. And I think it's that because it's like you get hurt and thrown out and what's the word I'm looking for? Bashed and all these things so much. And then, you know what I'm saying, end up winning. I feel like that is, and I want to see all those people that's trying to do that. I want to see their reactions when that happens. I do.
This is not going to put any distance between evangelicals and Trump. Nice try, guys. Desperate. Here's the New York Times. Could Nikki Haley, really beat Trump? Big donors are daring to dream. Big donors, keep throwing your money down that pipe. Just throw it down the toilet. I hope you lose all of your money and invest all of it on Nikki Haley. If you're a billionaire, give her all $100 billion because you might as well fill up a lake with it and go water skiing on it. By the way, while you're at it, just throw some billions at me. If you're going to waste it and throw away, literally giving money to me is probably more effective than giving your money to Nikki Haley. I have a better chance of winning than Nikki Haley does against Trump. The Washington Post opinion, This is the big one. This is the one that Letitia James, this is what her court case was trying to do. Remember, she has been hunting Trump. She ran on it. And she has called him a racist. She's been doing all this blacks, and Biden, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black.
Yeah.
Opinion, black voter turnout is the key to Trump's 2024 chances. When we sat down for dinner Thursday, I silently gave thanks that Donald Trump is not president of the United States. This is a writer for the Washington Post. Got bad news for you. Watch this. This is a killer. Are black voters leaving the Democrats behind? This is in another article, and this is my favorite. They're talking about a black poll. The change was so remarkable that it almost seemed like a mistake. In a poll of residents in battleground states by the New York Times and Siena College this fall, 22% of black voters said they would support former President Donald Trump over President Biden in a hypothetical 2024 matchup. A Republican hasn't gotten those numbers since Reagan. Blacks, 22% for Trump. So even though they've been...
And the crazy thing is I know as we go day by day, that number gets higher. Having, what did he say? Where did it go back to this? 22% of black voters said that they would support President Trump. A lot of those, I'm telling y'all, that number is going to grow. And it's going to grow just for the simple fact. And I didn't really know anything about Trump when I first started doing these reactions, obviously. And doing research and going back on history. I didn't know anything about him. And one thing about it is, one of those percent, I'm in that percentage because I'm starting to realize and I'm starting to see a lot of things, and I think a lot of other people are too, and that's a real good thing.
They've been trying to label him as a racist, label him as ineffective, label him as all that. It doesn't work among normal, common black voters, to a point that they thought that the poll was a mistake. The numbers were so in his favor. Even when they try to insult Trump, they end up showing that he has more power, more reach, more social credibility. They keep trying to take him apart and knock him down, and he keeps getting stronger. Guys, their tears are going to be so salty on election day, and we're going to be singing. I'm going to dance around the entire house.
Man, I'm telling y'all right now, it is going to be, when I tell y'all it is going to be so amazing to see, things like this happen. And one thing about it, it's more so of wanting to see people actually realize what's going on, even if they dislike, obviously, just see what's going on about the stuff that's going on around the United States. Like it's not it. This year alone has been a lot of damage, and we obviously need that president. We need him, and that's just one thing about it. We definitely do. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe. We definitely appreciate everybody tuning in, watching these reactions. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button for more videos. You already know what's going down. Catch y'all next one.